Welcome to the pagan playground, and since my brain is in this vein, I shall do what does this time of the year mean to you? Samhain! Now, for me, this holiday is a twofold thing. I have Halloween in the beginning, and then Samhain at night. So, it depends when everybody wants to get together. I can't remember, I do this year by year, but I have no sense of time, when everybody goes out to start trick-or-treating. And my nieces and nephews are getting really, really old. But I'll be there with a walker and a costume and just walking around. I don't care. I will do it solo if I have to. But the plan is me, my sister, and the two youngest ones are going to hang out and they can trick-or-treat. So this year, I'm going as a punk. So, or i.e., what to practice for wearing on a Tuesday. So, I plan like a year in advance what I'm going to do the next year. But this year kind of just went... So I'm like, okay, at least I know what I'm going to do, is just kind of quickly gathering the stuff to kind of put together. So I think I'm pretty much set. Everything's kind of all at once. Finished my costume. So it depends what I think of. I think I might go sort of more candy kind of J-pop or something. I have an idea already for next year. So one year I went as a brain doctor, and I had like, you know, like surgical garb and stuff like that, and I have a plastic brain. That was like really cool. So I totally look forward to the Halloween aspect. Walk around town, you get to walk down a main street. I'm sadly far too old for trick-or-treat, so I might take a percentage of my nephews. So there's that fun time, something I look forward to. I love it. It's like, yes. And it's a chance to kind of be creative too. You know, it's not necessarily, and I like to see too what people have for costumes, because I totally respect the people that actually get off their asses and make their costumes. It's like, okay, fine, yeah, whatever, you buy off the rack, whoop-de-doo, but at least DIY something on it. One year, they were jellyfish. They were little, I don't know, 5-6-year-old kids. They had a plastic see-through umbrella, and they rigged it with, like, those tube lights, and they were, like, bioluminescent jellyfish. And that's what I want to see. So that's one thing I like looking forward to. Who are the creative people in town? So when that stops, and the way we have it up here, it's pretty much nighttime. It's totally dark by the time everything is done. Then it's time to get into magic mode. Come home, and I usually have my altar set up, you know, so I don't have to kind of scramble around. The whole day is sort of planned. So I come back, and once I have privacy and all that stuff, I'll get into Samhain. And for cakes and ale, that's sort of the like important part. There's 3 things that I have. And last year I had, I think I put the 3 candles up. I had like 3 black birthday candles. One that represents Grace, my spirit grandma. One that represents Grandpa. And one that represents Dad. Now for the cakes and ale, I had the tea that Grace always drinks. I'll have to nick another one to, you know, have for Samhain. Sardines for Grandpa, and devil dogs for Dad. So these are like foodstuffs that are, you know, when you see a devil dog, you automatically think Dad. You know, so it's like significant, and in that way it makes a meal. So I did, you know, put the meal together, and I had the pictures, you know, with the candles. So I kind of got to share a meal with them. And I mentioned this, I think, previously in the challenge. I don't want to go, you know, okay, I'm having Samhain, you're coming, I'm inviting you, you're coming, you have no choice. You know, it's like, I don't want to, like, call them forced, because I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm sure Grace is feeding people, and, you know, heaven only knows what Dad's up to, and Grandpa. But, you know, it's like, I'm here, you know I'm here, I've got your stuff, you're willing to come and partake. You know, if you're passing by, hey, hi, how are you? You know, so I do that. So that's sort of like the main aspect of my Samhain celebration. So basically the ale is like the tea, and then, so I have thought I had thought about, there's a certain wine Grandpa drank that he put into his tea. And there's a bottle in Walmart that sort of looks like it. But I don't know if it's exactly what it was. I don't know if Grandma would remember it, but he used to get it at like a liquor store, kind of where... Is he from that area? I should know this. Yeah, of course. I mean, he was born someplace else and they moved up here, but yeah. So it's like, well, I can't really go to the liquor store to get it. Would I compromise? But I don't know. But that Grandpa always had his sardines. So, the cakes and ale, that's kind of my whole Samhain ritual right there. I don't do much of anything else per se. The full moon before that, which I don't have my notes with me, was like, not necessarily, well, I think it was like connecting with the ancestors and stuff like that. And I have all, or at least a good chunk of like photographs of my frightening family. So I kind of leafed through that and I could like recognize some people, and some people are like, I think you're related. I think the reason I don't have a chin is because of grandmother's mother. Her mother had no chin, so I think it's her fault. So you look through these pictures and I'm like, okay, and you can just tell. So it's kind of fun, kind of tracing back the lineage. So I don't call anybody for Samhain. I sort of reintroduce myself to them and that type of thing. So in a way, it's not necessarily unbalanced scale where you go from like party time to like, you know, dark brooding time. It's one whole celebration where, you know, it's really fun for Halloween, but it's more of a, you know, subdued still, isn't it? You're sort of celebrating the fact that you knew these people. That's the way I look at it. So it's not necessarily like, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, not mourn them, but, you know, I reignite the memories, basically. So in that way, for me, they're not gone anywhere. They're like, okay, Wayne isn't in the house. He's off working. Well, he still exists. I might not be able to access him, like, hey, you know, I mean, but I could call him forth on my magical electronic device. But he's busy, so, you know, I don't want to do that. So in the same, so it's like I know he's there, and in some ways I can access that, but I don't want to bother him. It's the same way for, like, you know, passed on people, where they're still there, they're just in a different place. I might be able to access them, but I don't need to necessarily bother them, you know what I mean? And again, I think I touched upon that on the whole afterlife thing. So for me, Halloween / Samhain is like that point of the year where you're like, this is where it all sort of accumulates. And I guess being like, technically the last Sabbath of the turn of the wheel, some ways you can look at it as sort of a New Year's celebration, so it is sort of like Wiccan New Year, Pagan New Year. But of course, since you have like Christmas and you're sort of like inundated with that before Father's Day, you know, you don't quite feel that cutoff point. So I can't quite look at it that way, but it's sort of a celebration all the way around without going woo, you know. It's fun and it's significant at the same time. I can enjoy both aspects of it. So I don't quite know what else to add to this. But then being a goth, I am rather macabre, which is kind of strange being that way. I don't look at it in a dark sense. I'm like Ruby Gloom, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like I should be Misery, but I'm more like Ruby. I don't know. Google it. So thank you for watching. Blessed Samhain, and blessed be. Bye.